Don't follow me, I am lost. That probably should be the title of today's video. What you're looking at is a very well presented and neatly wrapped order of bundles that is going to a new account that I have picked up. And while this looks great, I'm here to tell you it was a chaotic event to get it to become this. And it reminds me, both my parents grew up in West Virginia, and they had both said that in high school they were taught the 3 Rs, which was reading, writing, and Route 250 to Ohio. Here in the firewood industry, I have learned that there is also 3 Rs. There is restaurants, residential, and retail. So the bundles are the retail side of the market. And I am really big into restaurants. I am growing with residential, and I do a couple retail accounts, but I feel that this is some low-hanging fruit. There is no reason why I cannot be a big player in my area, in my region, for bundled firewood. And I see it as like this recurring income. It goes back to the day where I consider myself a recovering landlord. And I work through it, but I've divested of all my properties. That should be another YouTube channel. I could talk to you about that experience. Wow. But that's what I like about restaurants. There is that element of like this recurring income, passive income that just keeps coming in. And restaurants, okay, you still have to work for it, but those are sales that you can project, that you're going to get each month. And that's where I see bundles and retail sales play that role with me. So I start devising this plan in my head. What can I do to get more accounts, more retail accounts? And I have figured that I need to stay away from the big box stores and companies that are big enough to where they have this central warehouse. So they're buying their bundled firewood from who knows where, a number of states over. I'm going after locally owned convenience stores, grocery stores, bait shops, places that I know that would be more likely to deal with a local producer such as myself. So I went ahead and started pounding the pavement. And I developed a list of stores that I thought that would be very good opportunities for me. That could be another episode for for this too, because it hasn't gone to plan. I haven't been as successful as I thought. If you think about the video a few back where I was looking at the box trucks, because I'm thinking, how am I going to deliver all these if I can really grow my bundle business? So my first round of sales calls, it didn't go as well as I thought. There's a number of stores where they weren't interested. There's some that I haven't heard back from yet. So that's where I get to something I'm not good at, with pestering people. I've always operated under the assumption that no answer is an answer. But nonetheless, I have struck gold on at least 2, for now, accounts. The reason I'm saying that this is chaotic, guys, and I'm going to be very upfront about this, I haven't a clue what I'm doing. I feel I've been having flashbacks to when I was first starting out with firewood, making my first deliveries. I didn't know what I was doing. It's kind of like, here's some firewood, you got to deliver it there, so you do it. Each delivery, I would say, well, that didn't go as the way I thought it was. I need to make some changes to it. So I would make some changes. And then, delivering to restaurants, delivering to residential, I got pretty good at it. Retail, I'm still grasping. I have very few accounts that I supply to, and I'm able to handle those because the volume's not too high. Bundles create their own process. You got to have something in place. And I've learned that you can't wrap wet wood, and it rains here in Ohio all the time. I can't keep a supply of these around because they're going to get mice in them. The cats are going to pee on them. You would think that if the cats were doing their jobs, I wouldn't have to worry about the other problem. And then I don't have a place to wrap them. I don't have a reliable place to wrap them, So I got these 2 new accounts. This is one of them that's going out today, and they would like them on today. Well, it's been raining here for the last 2 weeks, and I've just learned you can't wrap wet wood. And talk about chaotic. So I'm down here loading up my truck in the rain. I would drive it home. I would pull my wife's car out of the garage. Thank you. And I would stack the wood in there, and I put the box fan on it to get it to dry off. And then I wrap it, and then I got it stacked in the wrong spot in the garage. I'm running my head into the garage door when I have my truck backed in to fill it up. So all of these things are conspiring against me, and that's where I'm saying, don't follow me, I'm lost. But the next time I do this, I'll be better at it. Another blind spot, this other account that I picked up, they have a loading dock and they want all of these put onto a pallet. So my truck isn't as high as a semi, you know, that's their loading dock, but they're able to bring their forklift down onto the ground and they can fork pallets off of this right off the back of my truck. Well, you know, so here's the new process. I got to have pallets that are going to fit within the wheel wells of my truck, and then I have to stretch wrap the pallets so that they're not all falling off while they're getting transported. So these are all new things that I'm falling into, and I'm going to figure it out, but I'm sharing all of this with you because I also think that there is a message. There's something that we can all learn about this. But right now, I got to hit the road and I'm going to make this delivery. I don't really have a strong relationship with this company yet, so I'm not going to ask them if I can film, but I'll try to do the best I can just to give you guys a look on this delivery. But man, these bundles look awesome, don't they? This is seasoned dry wood. These will be kept inside, so I can't send them anything that's got mold or mushrooms on it. And my name is on the label, and you better believe these are going to burn when someone lights them up. You don't want to have your name on labels when there's water pouring out of both ends of the firewood when it's trying to get lit. All right, guys, let me load up and we are heading on down the road. I am here. I'm a little early, and I think that's a virtue when you show up early to a place. But let me just tell you what I've done. These bundles have my label in them. You can see them back here. And they have my barcode, and that's part of the selling point, you know, because I've separated myself from anyone else that's just doing this as a side job. And I make it clear, you know, that this is my livelihood. I take it serious. I'm putting my name on these bundles, so you better believe that they're going to be clean. They're going to be ready to burn. Whenever you make a sale like this, there is this setup process. All of these retailers work on what is called 30 days net. So they're not going to mail me my check until about a month, because the invoice that I give them has to go to their accounts payable and it has to get processed and it has to get sent to me. Along with their invoices, I went ahead and made a new product setup sheet, and it's really nothing involved. I just did it on a word processor. It has my business name and my contact information and my email address. I've listed my bundle, what they're called, the unit size, which is 0.75 cubic feet. I have listed the UPC code because when they data enter this on their computer, that allows them to scan the barcode and it will put the price up. And it has the unit cost, and it also has a blank space. It's called a SKU or an SKU. That is a recognized term known as a shelf keeping unit. I do not provide the SKU, the local retailer does. It all makes sense to them. And then I have about order information, who to call, and, you know, kindly give me at least a 4 days heads up. And then I have my address for where they mail the check to. And then I also stapled onto it a copy of my label, because some of these places will sell their bulk items through the courtesy booth, and then they'll have this in a book and they can just scan the label like that so that the customer doesn't have to carry the bundle, you know, across the store. So I've done all of that for them. This is just part of the stuff that I've learned from 20-ish years in my professional career. I've picked up some skills other than playing Minecraft and solitaire. And because this is my first delivery here, I don't know what their process is. I have my contact person. I'm just going to walk inside, see what they want me to do, and then we'll get these unloaded, and then we'll head on down the road. All right? So bear with me on this, guys, and I am going to be right back. Oh, and one more thing. Always have your business card. There is no excuse. I don't care if you are a hobbyist. You have a business card if you're selling firewood. I mean, all it's got to say is, I sell firewood, phone number. It could be that simple. You got to put something in the customer's hands when you're making sales calls on events like this. And it's something that you just do. It instantly gives you credibility. Okay, I just unloaded onto the loading dock. And let me get out of here and I'll give you my observations. I was heading back and then I thought, what the heck, I'm going to show you guys something kind of cool. So this area that I live in Northeast Ohio is anchored by this lake. It's the second largest inland lake in Ohio. It's called Mosquito Lake. And you know, we've been having such big rain, we've had a lot of flooding, and the lake is really full, so they have opened the dam up and they're draining the water out into Mosquito Creek, and it's really getting flooded. So I just thought I would stop and show you this as a brief interlude into our project for today, delivering these firewood bundles. That delivery went well, and it was an opportunity to develop a relationship too. And I was asking him if he has other people in his network that might be an appropriate customer for me. And he was excited to see what he had, because what he was buying before, mine was cheaper. I don't know how how I like that, because then it makes me think I should have asked for more money. But my price is fair. It's good for me, and I'm good with that. But the wood is awesome. The display is awesome. When he gets everything put up, I'm going to go back and get a picture of it, and I'll make sure to show it to you guys as well. And he appreciated that new item setup sheet that I made. It had all of the information he needed to get me set up in their system so they can mail out checks, and how they can get that UPC code entered into their POS, which in retail stands for point of sale. All right, we're not talking about pickup trucks or anything of the like. But I had mentioned earlier in this video about, if you go back to that box truck that I was looking at, and that's just where my mind is, because I'm looking at developing this side of the business, growing it. How am I going to get all these bundles out to these retail places? I want to keep them out of the rain, because, you know, here's evidence of the rain we have in this area. I just had all of these ideas, and I just had it in my head because I had about 5 big players in my area that I was going after, and I really do think that I would just be the ideal situation for them. But I struck out. I got a couple of them, but not all of the ones that I thought. So growing my sales has not been as big as I thought it was going to be. It made me rethink the box truck thing. It's still on my horizon, but I'm going to put that on hold for right now, because the footprint I was looking to get immediately with bundle sales hasn't been as big. And I was having these flashbacks to when I have first got my start selling firewood. You have this idea in your head, and you go and you take action on it, and it doesn't work. You know, you fall flat on your face. And there are these highs and lows that you go through, and I am having them now in this of the 3 Rs in retail. I thought I was going to knock this out of the park, and it hasn't been as easy as I thought. And I had felt that, not despair, but, you know, oh man, this isn't going to work. What I have learned, guys, over my life, and I'm in my 50s, so I can speak from experience here. When adversity hits, the best thing you can do is to take action. We tend to want to sit around and feel sorry for ourselves, to find people that we can blame that has caused this situation. But I have learned that you are you are probably the cause of your problems, and you are the absolute solution to your problems if you do one thing, and that is take action. So when I struck out on my first few sales calls, I just didn't go back and feel sorry for myself. I got busy and I went after it, and I went after the next one. Had I not landed these 2, I would have kept going, and I would have found someone eventually. So when you develop that network, when you develop that sales presence, I think that also opens up even more doors that you didn't even know existed. So that is my message, and that is what I have had a return to where I got started. I did not just find success immediately, you know. It didn't work the way I was thinking it was going to. I didn't think I would ever deliver to restaurants. I just thought I would deliver to high-end residential. I had this idea of this subscription service for bundle delivery or small quantity delivery to people who live in townhomes, people that would be willing to pay a premium for firewood, But then, you know, that didn't work out, and the next thing I know, I'm all over these restaurants here in my area. That's what I have experienced with these bundle sales. It is not going the way I thought it was going to. It is not. But that isn't making me just, you know, quit and give it up. I'm absolutely going forward, and I'm going to keep at it. I am not just going to give up and just quit doing this. I am going to go forward, and I'm going to keep at it. And that is my message. You know, I learned that the first steps of Ohio Wood Burner, and I had a reintroduction to that lesson that I learned a few years back. So today, when I just made that delivery on those bundles, that was a very nice, neat looking delivery in the bed of my pickup truck. But if you would have seen everything that went into it for me to get to that point, it was chaotic. It was full of pitfalls. I had highs and lows. I almost gave up on it, but I didn't. And that's what you see. The final product was a nice delivery of bundles and the beginning of a new relationship. I hope that all makes sense to you. And I'm hoping that you're digging the look here of the dam at Mosquito Lake. The lake is just on the other side. This is the dam right here. And if you ever look at the map of Ohio, look in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see Mosquito Lake. Great lake. Full of walleye, best tasting fish in the world. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope everyone has a great day.